Hey guys, welcome back to the Brentford save here on FIFA 21. Thank you for all of your support on this save so far. Thank you for your incredible support on the FIFA 22 videos that went live a couple of days ago. Do make sure you watch those videos to stay fully up to date with everything that's happening with FIFA 22 career mode and all of the new additions coming to both manager and player career. If you haven't seen those videos, do go and watch them. Apologies for no video yesterday. In the melee that was rushing all of those FIFA 22 videos to get them out, I got the information early, thanks to the connections at EA, but I only got them that morning, so there was a mad rush to get all of those videos made. In the process, guess who deleted his recording of Brentford episode 4 before he'd uploaded it? This guy! So that's the bad news. The good news is, I was able to reload an autosave and I've only missed one game. So you don't see Leeds 1, Brentford 2, which is a shame because we won it in like the 89th minute with an Onyeka header and it was scenes. But unfortunately that's been lost to time. But we can go and play Chelsea and Burnley and we'll go and play Manchester City today as well. So... If anything, I've made things even more difficult for myself. In the last episode, we showed you all of the players we were scouting. Today, those scout reports have come back. So I'll show you the transfer targets that we're looking at. I've also added another name or two to that list as well, as per your suggestions and also as per rumoured Brentford signings in real life. As ever, drop this video a like if you're enjoying this save. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. A number of you aren't. Make sure you do sub and hit that notification bell as well and you'll never miss a video when I remember to upload them and don't accidentally delete them off my computer and then empty my recycle bin. Right, Chelsea first today, but firstly, who's looking decent from this list? We of course have a lower rated right back at the minute. Roslev is 66 rated. He's performing well. I'm not going to complain about his performances, but we certainly could improve there. Joel Anderson plays for Midtjylland, is the other side that the Brentford owner owns, and he's got great physicals. Technically, he's about the same as Roslev, but obviously with better physicals and still being relatively young at 24, there's a lot of room for growth there still, you would have thought. And at £2 million, I believe the phrase is no-brainer. So I think Joel Anderson will come in January as my either new starting right back or at least come into the squad on the bench. Roslev has been very good so far. Maybe Roslev has to make a mistake or drop in form before we actually throw Anderson in. But I think that's kind of a deal that is an absolute must, really. I'm looking at centre-backs. We do have Janvier, who's 27. We have Pinnock, who's 27. And, of course, Pontus Jansson, our captain, who's 29. Obviously, in real life, that's not even remotely close to old. But in FIFA terms, they're not going to grow that much more. So I am looking to younger players. Victor Nelson is a Dane that plays for FC Copenhagen in Denmark that I actually really like the look of. Physically, he's not the most quick, but you can see that he's got high defensive work rate, low attacking work rate, strong, good stamina, decent jumping, is 6'1", and technically, I mean, he's just as good as anyone else we've got, really, isn't he? So, solid player and the leadership traits as well, which is huge. So, a definite option. He's about £8 million, so we could afford to bring him in too. Of course, it comes down to what you guys want to see as well. With regards to the potential of a winger, I am questioning how much Canos and Mbermo actually bring to the side. We haven't had much from either of them so far this season, but Fosu is older and lower rated, so he'd be the one that would move on first to bring in someone else that's better and probably younger as well. Mohamed Darami is a utilitarian player, can play on either side and up top. Rapid, technically not great, but at 18, there's certainly room for growth there. Again, not very expensive whatsoever. Now, I said I also was looking for a more forward-thinking midfield option to bring on off the bench. I'm quite happy with De Silva and Jensen. I'm very happy with Onyeka in that CDM role. But I only have two CDMs as my options off the bench in Norgard and Janelt. And I kind of want that more dynamic midfielder to be able to bring into the play later in a game to help me either hold on to a lead or try and equalise or pull a goal back. Physically, Jens List Kuyuste is very decent. Technically, He's okay. Technically he's okay, but obviously could grow. He's only 21. But it does say that they won't sell him. So we might have to try something at a later date for him. Patrick Berg is also really decent physically. Technically, again, slightly better than Kayust, because Kayust has slightly lower passing, but he does have better ball control and dribbling. Actually, maybe just the dribbling, but still, Berg is better in the pass. He's a Norwegian, so the decision between the two is difficult to make. But then when it comes to, well, actually, there's Evander here as well, who I believe they're not willing to sell at the moment either. He's a cam by default, but can play at centre mid. Technically looks pretty decent with regards to ball control, the dribbling, the short passing, etc. He's got decent curve too, and shot power's not bad. We're not playing a cam, but he's obviously a forward-minded midfielder, so we could certainly play him in a centre mid role and bring him off the bench and maybe even push him slightly further forward, even if we don't change the formation. So he's an option too. And then, like I say, I'm looking potentially for a winger. Fofana, I really don't think I'm going to go for, mainly because we've seen the emergence of our new Scout Future Star. So I'm going to take Fofana off that list. With regards to wide players, like we say, contemplating selling Fosu to bring in another wide man. Anders Dreyer is not rapid, but great agility and balance. He can play at cam as well, to be fair, but technically he's not too impressive. And I don't know about him. I really genuinely don't know. Mikkel Damsgaard is my number one go-to for a winger. He had a stunning Euro 2020 tournament for Denmark, and he's not that expensive, considering how far he could go, which is a long way. A long way. Johan Wissa is a player that Brentford are supposedly interested in real life, so I'm now scouting him too. And Ennis Bardi could play out wide or at centre mid and is probably an absolute belter of a player, but he's going to be very expensive and probably out of our price range for now. But definitely someone that I want to keep on my radar for a future season. So that's where we stand off the pitch. Where we stand on the pitch is 12th. We have Chelsea away to start, then Burnley at home, and we'll also travel away to Manchester City in today's episode 2. So it's difficult. It's definitely difficult today. But if we can get something against Burnley, well, hopefully we can win at home against Burnley. And if we get anything from Chelsea and City, then we're thrilled, really. But we'll go into this one knowing that expectations are low, and if we get hammered, then it's what we expected, and we can't be too disappointed, can we? Ivan Toney's in good form, though. 4 goals in his last 3 games. Maybe we could pull a shock off. Chelsea have Kepa in goal. Reece James, Miazga, Thiago Silva, Rudiger and Chilwell. N'Golo Kante partners Jorginho in the middle with Ziyech, Timo Werner and Christian Pulisic out wide. A pretty obvious lineup of them other than Miazga. Zuma on the bench, Kai Havertz on the bench. Surprised Zuma's not starting, to be honest. We are, as you would expect us to be. Nervous, I think, is probably the word. Onyeka can squeeze that through, though, looking for Canos, who does get there. And now Rico Henry slightly further forward in support. And Ivan Toney could be on a decent run if De Silva can find him. Oh, he's round Rudiger. Oh, taking risks, Chelsea. But Rudiger does just enough strength-wise to knock Toney off it. We'll try and spin Thiago Silva. That's gone well. Oh, Kepa makes the save. Surprised to beat Thiago Silva quite so easily there. First shot that comes in is well saved by the feet of the Spaniard in goal. Jensen to Mbermo. Oh, Rudiger. Ivan Toney's actually done really well. Rudiger and Thiago Silva are so difficult to play against. Reece James is in the way. Here's Timo. Back to N'Golo Kante. I need to not dive in with my defenders, because Chelsea have the ability to just walk around my challenges. So I've got to be very disciplined here with the way that I try and defend. That's a lovely ball through to N'Golo Kante, who's breaking beyond the lines. De Silva dropping deeper from midfield to try and get involved, and does do so very effectively indeed. Reece James tackled. Ziyech with the throw. There's N'Golo. It's a 1-2. Onyeka now trying to get involved, but Ziyech's jinked past him in the box here. We'll force the corner. Rico Henry kind of asking for a little bit more support there, it seems, down in this left-back area. Ziyech with the delivery. It's poor, and Canos will clear away, but Chelsea still keep the pressure up with a throw in this final third. He's got Reece James arriving here, Ziyech. Finds him well. Timo's just through that gap. N'Golo could look for him. He's found Jorginho, who finds Christian Pulisic, who buries it. You can see me try and block there with Pontus Jansson, thinking that Pulisic was going to shoot on his right foot, which you presume that he was going to do. He didn't. He turned inside on his left more. He's me come across, and just there, I tried to... Well, that was just me pressing the button, expecting him to shoot, so it would trigger a block. I know it's Christopher Ayer, not Pontus Jansson, but still, brilliant finish by Christian Pulisic on his left foot, cutting in from the right when actually he started on the left. Chelsea take the lead. Tony back to Roerslev again. You can see just how many blue shirts there are back here for Chelsea in defence. That 5 at the back formation is just so well disciplined that it can't get round anyone. Timo Werner back to Jorginho. Little burst of pace. Don't normally see from Jorginho. Here's James. Rico Henry had tracked the run of Ziyech inside. He's going to need some support here, Reece. And he does get it. Ziyech. Werner's made a good run, so I'm trying to stop him being able to play the ball over there. Rico Henry's done exceptionally well. And Onyeka will have the pace to break away. Now, support on this left-hand side with Canos is decent, but he's not very fast. And that's a real problem on the counter. De Silva looking for Jensen. It's overplayed. It finds Roerslev. And Burmo will get that to Ivan Toney. And can we get a turn with Josh De Silva? Yes, we can. Oh, and how's the finish into the top corner? We are level at Stamford Bridge. And Josh De Silva's left foot is turning out to be quite a good goal-scoring swing of a leg. Lovely turn. Lovely turn. And we've tried to do that to Rudiger. We've tried to do that to Thiago Silva and not had too much positive outcomes with it. But Matt Miazga couldn't deal with it. And you saw in the replay there, it just bobbled up off the turf as he swung his leg at it, which meant that it went slightly higher than really I was aiming. But right into the top corner. Excellent connection on the ball. And with seconds to go, we are level at the end of the first half. Lovely. Onyeka into Jensen. There's Ivan Toney. Doing really nicely. And Jensen. Back to Toney again. I see De Silva. Here's who I'll look for. Is it going to pop up nicely? Whoa! For him again! What is Josh De Silva's left foot? It's a wand! He's a goal machine from midfield. What a hit! Chelsea 1, Brentford 2. Josh De Silva 2. The first one was impressive enough with the accuracy of the finish, but that's just pure power. Is Josh De Silva turning into a left-footed Yaya Toure? Because it feels like it right now. What a strike! What a performance on an individual level from the man. Wow! 2-1, we lead at Stamford Bridge. His 5th goal of the season. He's our 2nd top goal scorer behind Ivan Toney now, I think. Unbelievable. Into Timo Werner. Kane has scored to give Tottenham a 3-1 lead away from home against the side playing in blue and white in Brighton. And it could be a victory for the away side against the team in blue and white here as well, unless Hakim Ziyech pops up with a finish there. And the Chesnoid jinx continues. I said in the last episode, literally, what, 3 or 4 hours before the news broke? Oh, I'm sure Messi will re-sign a contract at Barcelona. And then they announced that he's leaving. Now he looks like he's set to sign for Paris Saint-Germain. As soon as I mention beating a team in blue and white as an away side, I concede a bloody goal and it's 2-2. We've made a change. Onyeka staying in that deeper role. I thought about moving him slightly further forward, but Janelt actually in centre mid is now actually getting a bit of a boost to his stats rather than a negative drop, because he does have centre mid as one of his positions. Onyeka does too, but if I do that, you can see he still gets a minus, whereas Janelt actually gets a bit of a bump at the minute. So I'm throwing Janelt in on that right-hand side ahead of, or in place of Jensen, who's now dropped to the bench. It was initially a change to bring a defensive midfielder on to hold on to a 2-1 win. Now I'm going to be trying to hold on to a 2-2 draw, but we'll have to wait and see how the final 10 minutes play out. We've been good enough here today to maybe earn a victory if I can have some support. And Burmo will lift that, looking for Kieran. Oh, Oh, Kieran. Ivan Toney, but I can't find him, and Chelsea will break. Josh De Silva, the man of the moment today at Stamford Bridge. Certainly the man of the match for us. Possibly the man of the match overall. Canos bumped off it. Rise the next challenge. Oh my God, what a run. Into Toney. Come on. No! Oh, just as Mbermo. Oh, I thought he was going to dart into the box, so I played the pass, and just as connection was being made on the ball, he jumped backwards and went the other way. That's cost us the chance to win the game. But a point at Stamford Bridge is still absolutely brilliant. We may well have had a 2-1 lead and not been able to see it through, but still, a point against Chelsea is a very good result, and we'll be particularly happy with that. Coming from 1-0 down to then go 2-1 up, both sides probably deserved a point from that. But that point may even move us slightly further up the table. It hasn't. We've actually played a game more than our next opponents, Burnley now. Everton could come level with us on points, albeit they'd still be behind us on goal difference unless they win by 8-0 if they win their game in hand. So there's still some games to be played left on this match day, but we're going to head to the next one, which is Burnley at home. Burnley with, as you might expect, 4-4-2. Wayne Hennessy in goal, Lowton Tarkowski, me and Eric Peters, Brownhill, Westwood, Dale Stevens and Dwight McNeil, with Ashley Barnes and my namesake Chris Wood up top at striker for them. Matej Vidra on the bench is an option. They're not playing Nick Pope, which is a surprise. Hennessy getting the nod. Burnley at home, with all due respect to Burnley, even as a promoted side, is a game that you would expect to stand a good chance of winning. So, let's go and win it, shall we, if we can. Onyeka into Jensen. Oh, Dale Stevens just gets a toe to it. Despite their 4-4-2, they're so well disciplined, Burnley, that they work that system so well. It really does make them actually quite difficult to play against for the majority of the time. You have to get quite lucky to catch a player out of position, because they're so good. Even when a player does step out of position, like Ben Mee did there, they're really good at covering the gaps. James Tarkowski ensured that we didn't get forward there. Rico Henry is trying his absolute hardest to ensure that Burnley don't do the same. Josh De Silva has been the man of the moment today, and he might be getting an assist if Ivan Toney can get in behind and finish this. Oh, Mbermo, please! Yes, we do take the lead! So unlucky for Ivan Toney not to add to his tally so far this season, and Mbermo nearly balls that up, cannoning off the post and coming straight to his feet, where he just managed to get it under control enough to get around the left-back Eric Peters, just stepping past him and then running around him. But that was very nearly a clear goal-scoring opportunity, not able to be taken. Hennessy tried his best but can't get there. Weird to see Hennessy not in a Palace shirt, that's to be honest. Brian Mbermo with his second goal of the league season, one of the players that's possibly at risk in this starting lineup, but making the difference so far in this one. Brownhill. Well blocked by Onyeka. I didn't realise James Tarkowski used to play for Brentford, apparently. That's a lovely ball through. Chris Wood's in and has to score. Well, that was incisive from Burnley, wasn't it? An immediate response. Cut right through the heart of the side. Tucked in from the left. A nod down by Ashley Barnes. No, it was knocked down by Wood himself, actually. And then on the end of it, a 1-2. Give and go is the phrase. He gave with a header. He went. And he's buried it with the return pass of a 1-2. I wasn't expecting Burnley to bounce back quite that quickly. 1-1. Not going to be as straightforward as perhaps we hoped it may well be here against Burnley, rather evidently. Into De Silva, just trying to hold off the attentions of the midfielder. Jensen will find Toney. Runners all around me, but just got to turn away from all those Burnley shirts. Space for De Silva, though. He can't do that. Canos. Tony's drifting towards the back post. It's where he's called for it. It's where he'll get it. It's where he'll bury it. What a cross. What a finish. We lead again. This is turning into a bit of a goal fest at home. Not the best of ideas to go and celebrate right in face like, all of you Burnley fans. Ha! You know, not the best of ways to celebrate. You can see him pointing for it, though. He points. He's like, put it over there, put it over there, put it over there. So Canos does. And Tarkowski just doesn't bother jumping. He's been really solid so far, James Tarkowski. But making a mistake there that really has cost his team dear. They fought really hard to get themselves immediately back level. And then immediately they're behind again. His 8th goal of the season, Ivan Toney. Definitely a Premier League quality striker. And certainly scoring the goals so far that look like they hopefully will keep us up this season. Brownhill. He's onside there. I think if he can keep it in here, Matthew Lowton, and he has done. That hit an arm. That hit an arm. You could see it happen. It hit his face first, or his head first, but his arm was up, and he's kind of headed it against his arm. You might class that as unlucky, but his arm is in a very unnatural position. Oh, God, Burnley might well equalise immediately again, even quicker than they did last time. They have done, and what a pen from Chris Wood. I'm on a hat-trick. Burnley 2, Brentford 2, and we're only half an hour in. Rico Henry, I might actually go central to De Silva again here. A bit of dynamism bursting forward. I'm actually really enjoying Josh De Silva right now. That came off Dale Stevens, chesting it back to his goalkeeper. This game has been absolutely electric so far. And there's still, judging by the way the game is continuing to be played, still plenty more to come from this tie. Oh, it was going to fall for Tony. It didn't quite land in a position where he could get a clean shot off. Can he now? Yes, he can! We lead again! 3-2. Sit down, Burnley. I want these 3 points. 5 goals in the first half. Unreal game of football, this. A change for me, and Burmo coming off and Fosu coming on. He's more than likely to leave the club in January, Fosu. Will fall for me, though, and it will fall for him. And what an impact this could be off the bench if he can find a goal or an assist. Looking through. Oh, beautiful from Onyeka. No, the shot saved by Hennessy. We will not have a more clear-cut chance to get ourselves another goal. Jay Rodriguez coming off the bench for Burnley now. Canos is calling for it at the back post. It's not going to reach him, though. Tarkowski gets there, and Jay Rodriguez immediately involved, just as our substitute was as well. The opportunity to, you would have thought, put the game to bed with a 4th. Christophe Rea defending very high. Run for me then, Sergi. Oh, he's just stood there, but he has still gotten to the ball. And who's there on the edge of the box? It's De Silva. No, it's not. It's Onyeka. I thought it was De Silva. Oh, Onyeka's shooting's not the best, but that certainly was on target. Chris Wood on a hat-trick still for Burnley, but no third goal or chance for it. It's fallen their way yet. Here's Brownhill in behind my midfield line. McNeil over the top looking for Jay Rodriguez. Lost it quickly into the middle, but Janssen wins the header, but he can't find Nørgaard. And Burnley still pressing, and pressing high, as you can see. Almost everybody getting beyond the ball. Jack Cork over the top. Eric Peters is in behind. He needs to find a cross. He's got 3 defenders with him to try and stop him being able to do so. It's cannoned off Fosu and gone back to him. But Burnley pushed so many men forward. He hasn't really got much support going the other way. And Onyeka gets in. Is that a vital interception? The second one, certainly. That should see the game through for us. We'll try and hold on to the ball here. I'm not just going to go gung-ho to try and catch them on the counter. Just keep possession and see it through. That'll be game. We'll get the win now for sure. We might be able to add a 4th. Oh, if it was anyone other than Frank Onyeka on the end of the cross, then maybe we would have. But that will be 3 points for us. All of the action, or the majority of it, coming in a crazy first half here at the Brentford Community Stadium, but we see it through and we get all 3 points, and that's very important with Manchester City on the horizon. Big game against Burnley, who are, you would expect, considered relegation rivals. Burnley never really not been considered a side that are at threat from relegation from the Premier League. It's going to take 32 weeks to train Jensen somewhere else. I don't really want him to be high, but as an all-round player, we could maybe concentrate on his defensive stats, and maybe it'll move him up a rating or 2. 32 weeks for that, 32 weeks for that. Go on then, we'll make him a high. Let's do it. Right, Nørgaard wants more football. At the minute, mate, you're not getting it. But one thing I haven't shown you yet, and another reason why Nørgaard might not get first team football, is because we found a potential young superstar. Ola Sundergaard. Danish centre mid, 79 to 94 potential. Physically, getting there, I think is probably the phrase. Technically, needs some improving, but isn't the worst in the world at 16 years of age. With the right training and maybe a loan move in January, which I'll call him up now actually to ensure we can get him that loan move, then maybe he could be the future of our midfield, or certainly part of it. We will add him to the loan list. Let's see what happens in this third and final game against Manchester City, though. We're currently 11th and flying high, but all it takes is a couple of bad results and you plummet back down again. The scout reports are back on the day of the City game, so we may find someone else. 77 to 94 potential. I can't ignore that, although he's currently terrible over in Strum. He's not very highly rated at the minute, but that potential window intrigues me enough to commit just for this one time. 74 to 94. We'll give you another month, see if that narrows a bit more. I've just committed to another one. 72 to 94, valued at 200 grand. We'll give you another month as well. There is the potential here. 36 to 48. Starting rating is just going to be terrible. And he's 17, so not quite highly enough rated for that window either. We've had a couple of potential decent options here. £160,000 starting valuation is just woeful. Sorry, even though... No, he's just not going to grow enough. A potential goalkeeper. You saw me... That perked me up, didn't it? Christopher Shu. Sign. We'll give you another month. 300 grand. It's kind of players that are like Sonderberg. Sonderberg was valued at 1.2 million when we saw him in the... when I saw him in this menu here. So that's why I absolutely didn't hesitate to sign him. 900 grand for Marcus Lindegaard. He's going to be really good. The other kid we've just seen is better than that. Right, let's have a look at those youngsters then. We might be starting to find our future superstars. Whether that be through permanent signings from other teams or from our own youth system. Let's have a look. So, Shu, 6'5", 57 rated goalkeeper. Has the potential. Let's sort his development plan. I do need a rotation goalkeeper, of course. We'll go sweeper keeper because some of his lower stats, positioning and handling, certainly need some improvement. That's going to take 9 weeks. That's positive. Right then. Lindgren, 58 rated currently, 16 years of age, 75 to 94 potential. Got a little bit of pace and agility to start off with. Technically, he's not terrible. He's not incredible, but he's not terrible. So there's certainly some promise here. And if we can improve his shooting and passing stats, then maybe it's going to take 9 weeks. That's going to take 9 weeks. Let's do Poacher first. Try and get that finishing up. Right, Sturm, 77 to 94. He's more of a lump, isn't he? Not as fast, but strong and great jumping. I tell you what, he's a centre-back. Finishing of 36, but tackling of 56 and 54. He's not a striker, is he? Or even close to it. He is a centre-back. 4 weeks it's going to take to change him from striker to centre-back. In the wrong position, but on his way, hopefully, to being a decent player. Right. More promise off the field. Let's keep it going on the pitch. Ederson for City. Walker, Laporte, Stones and Mendy at left-back. Bernardo Silva, Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne as a midfield 3. Ferran Torres, Gabby Jesus and Raheem Sterling as a front 3. Holy balls, what a side. Ruben Dias on the bench. I don't know what other options at left-back City have currently. I guess they could play Joao Cancelo. No, is Joao Cancelo? No, Joao Cancelo's not left anywhere, has he? Joao Cancelo is still a Manchester City player, isn't he? Yeah. So maybe they could play Joao Cancelo over there. I'm not sure. Benjamin is probably the only weak point in that 11. Unfortunately, I started this save, having updated all the transfers, about 48 hours before the Jack Grealish deal was 99% done. So unfortunately, Grealish is not part of Manchester City's squad in this save. But that doesn't mean that this City side is any weaker than it is without him. Ridiculous side in Manchester City. Ridiculous squad that is only getting better in real life. And Christ knows if they're going to get Harry Kane as well. Messi looks like he's going to join PSG in real life, so he won't be joining Pep at Manchester City. They've committed to Jack Grealish. So we'll wait and see what happens in real life with City and a potential new striker. But in this save, Gabby Jesus leads the line as Aguero was left, even though he's now supposedly rumoured to be wanting to back out of his move to Barcelona. Now Messi's not going to be staying there. It's getting a little bit messy in real life, if you'll pardon the pun. But hopefully this will be pretty straightforward. It's more likely to be straightforward for them than it is for me, but on the counter here, we could be in for a chance. And Jensen has somehow bullied his way past everyone and will score for Brentford at the Etihad. How has he got through there? I said Josh De Silva might be a left-footed Yaya Toure. Maybe Jensen is the Yaya Toure. That was a bullish run as well. We've got some decent midfielders in our starting lineup. I just need that extra one on the bench to add that forward influence. But at the minute, we're not needing it. But I know for a fact, at some point, we will need it. Oh, what a run. What a goal. Let's go. Blocked well by Rico Henry. This level of success against City is not going to last. As Kyle Walker steals it off me. Now Ferran Torres is in the box. That's beautifully worked. Oh, City taking it up a gear. Kyle Walker with options. Rico Henry trying to deal with it. Walker delivers and that'll be keeper's ball. The success against City offensively won't last. Oh, I thought he had a bigger throw than that. I was trying to get it out wide to Canos, who was in with Kyle Walker pushed so far forward. And in the end, I'm actually going to end up conceding from that. That is devastating. I should have kicked it. I should have kicked it with the keeper. I thought throwing it would get it to him quicker. And he just didn't have the long throw in the bag. Picked off by Manchester City. Jesus sets up De Bruyne. And that left foot is just as deadly as the right foot at times. Really well struck. Flies into the back of the net. And City are level. Against the big boys, you get punished for your mistakes. Where's Silva going to go? Back to Rodri. And across to Aymeric Laporte. Forward into Bernardo Silva. That's slightly heavy and Pontus Jansson can get there. Right, kick it, Ches. Kick it looking for the man out left. And hey, look. Kyle Walker's gone walkabouts again, if you pardon the pun. And his support, though. And Tony turns, and here comes Josh De Silva in the battle of who's the Yaya Toure region. It's potentially Josh De Silva that rises to the fore again. 2-1 Brentford. I'm getting just as many goals from my midfield at the minute as I am my attack. Let's go again. Into De Bruyne, out wide to Sterling again. I thought it was just not paying attention. I thought it was in control of the man in the middle. Gabby Jesus makes it 2-2. Oh, I was looking at Sterling and flicked the stick. And you can see where I was running with a man higher up the pitch. Just off the pitch rather than running with the defender in the middle. Oh, my God. Look at him go. And then it finally... Against the big size, you get punished for your mistakes. Fuck my life. 2-2. It's like Burnley all over again. Jesus back to Rodri. To Jesus again. We're going to have as mental a first half here as we did back at the Brentford Community Stadium against Burnley. It seems so. 4 of the 5 goals already equalled. Oh, Ruslev looking for Mbermo. Jensen, please! Please! Yes! Tony! His 10th goal of the Premier League season! Deja vu! Brentford 3, Manchester City 2, not even at half-time. Bloody hell, what is happening today? Rodri brings that down beautifully out of the air. Jesus back to Rodri and Bernardo Silva. Gabby still forward in support. Rodri could go through there to Bernardo Silva again. He's forcing himself wide here. Ferran Torres. Walker's there in support again. Ferran Torres, what's he doing? Christopher Ayew is drawn out of position, but we've dealt with it well. Canos will find Onyeka. Focus in front of Josh De Silva, and here we go again. Please tell me you're on side. I think the left back, or whoever it was, it's John Stones on this left-hand side. I can't not. I'm sorry. You cannot turn down an opportunity like that in that scenario away from home against Manchester City. I don't care that I've sweat them. That is 4-2 away from home at the Etihad. What a result this could be. Oh, it took a little while to take that shot though. God! They need something, anything here in the last 7 minutes. John Stones into Rodri. The time's ticking away. Here is Machino. Finds De Bruyne. Oh, what a block by Ayer. That was travelling towards goal. Sterling! Wow. If that goes top bins, we are very, very nervy for the last few minutes. And it was not far away. Oh, at all. Jesus Christ, that was close. De Bruyne off. Gundogan on. How many minutes added on at the end of the game? Not many, I don't think. 2 minutes. Oh, lovely challenge by Laporte and De Silva. Tried to accelerate away from him and just expertly defended. Shame they haven't done that for the rest of the game, isn't it, eh? Walker into Laporte and with, well, nothing left. Nothing left. Come on, ref, do me a favour. A win away from home against the champions. That is phenomenal. Obviously, they're champions in real life. In this particular season, Liverpool were the reigning champions, obviously, because it's the season that's just gone in real life. But still, you know what I mean. City are champions IRL, and we've just beaten them by 4-2 away from home for Brentford, because effectively we're enacting next season, aren't we? The season that's upcoming. Everton next for us. That will be played in tomorrow's episode. Janelt is wanting to play. Well, the side at the minute is playing well, although you can see that we're not fully fit, so maybe we will make a couple of changes for the Everton game. What I'll probably do is play all 6 of those games over the course of 2 episodes leading up to the January transfer window. Gives me enough time to get all of your feedback for the upcoming transfers so that we can do the right things in the window to ensure that we progress the right way with the squad. Everton, Leicester, Liverpool tomorrow, but 7 points against Manchester City, Chelsea and Burnley. Unbelievable. We will take it into the top half. Into the top half. 3 points off 6th. Also 3 points off 13th. So let's not get carried away. Let's not get carried away. There's still a long way to go. And if we have a bad run of form around the Christmas mark where it does get a bit busy, then we could be in a lot of trouble. That is going to be it for today though, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you've dropped the video a like. Hopefully you're subscribed. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.